it's the most catastrophic, most tragic and incomprehensible scene that I could ever imagine, and we're all greatly saddened and extend our sympathy to the people who've lost their lives in this community, obviously, and certainly for those Americans and others who were on board that flight.
It's a terrible tragedy. It's absolutely appalling when you see an ordinary local community devastated in this way.
Well, I would never ever anticipated anything so ghastly as this would ever happen in Dumfries and Galloway, but here it has.
But one is full of tremendous admiration for the emergency services, who, as one expects, perform superbly in the most difficult circumstances.
The initial problem was that they never found the majority of the aircraft. All they found were bits and pieces. And so the helicopters were primarily used to locate wreckage and try to get some idea of where the aircraft was, where the wreckage was strewn, and so on. And saw a lot of wreckage, seats, very large portions of the aircraft, a large portion of a wing, and stewardess trolley, recovered some mail, a lot of things like that, but no survivors.
Well, we are often invited to do emergency counselling with people who are in areas of need, and this certainly has been the case here. We had parties out by 8 o'clock this morning visiting those who have been affected by the disaster, and we have continued that counselling work with both them and the emergency services during the day as well.
They have a tough job to do, and sometimes we take their services for granted, and often I think after they've been through these traumatic experiences they frequently need counselling and help.
Well, when I went up to the area, there was a large area of bodies, unknown number, bodies lying about everywhere.
Several of them were trapped within the nose piece, some of them with legs and arms amputated.
I have spoken to some of the local residents, and they're in a very deep sense of shock. I've been just behind the police station here and seen where part of the fuselage has come down on somebody's house, and I was told by one of the local residents how they managed to get a lady out of the house that it had fallen on.
I think we want to try and give as much support and as much comfort as we can, because a lot of people here have been very distressed by the tragedy. Many have been bereaved, many have had their homes destroyed, and many have been deeply shocked by what has happened. And I'm sure there'll be many scars in the future.
Some of the areas that we visited this morning had meant that people were opening their curtains to find parts of dead bodies in their front gardens, and that must have been traumatic for people facing this unbelievably for the first time.
Grief is an individual thing, but there is a common thread of numbness, of denial, of anger, and of withdrawal. And we have to be very careful that people are not allowed to lapse into these kinds of states.
There was a family who came in, and here in the Roman Catholic Church, where a centre has been set up for counselling clergy and social workers here, I was with a Roman Catholic family and was praying with them.
When people in crisis know that others are interested and are concerned and offer support, that in its own way affects morale.
WRVS is ready to step in immediately they're asked to help in any way possible, providing food, which is what we're doing today. It's wonderful how everybody works so well together. A lot of us don't know each other, we've never met.
It's been quite remarkable what a splendid spirit there's been in the town with that. It's brought out the best in people.
For many, the trauma will last months, probably years, and certainly there are no quick and easy answers to the problems that people are finding now.
I'm not worried that we're going to fall back into despair or despondency. I think there's a constructive idea just flowing in.
We have buildings to deal with here. We have the main services to be put back into effect, the A74 over there. And then looking to the longer term, what we can do to help Lockerbie to reconstruct itself as a community.